Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 21/12/2022 guys. So today's news is less. Let's quickly look into that. Yeah. Guys, new scanners to speed up security check at airports. So now they are planning to bring new screeners so that as soon as we go, there will be double X-ray uh, computer to tomography, neutron beam technology, which will ensure that the processing would be sooner. So nowadays it is taking a lot of time, so they want to reduce the time by introducing new technologies, guys. So if possible, you try to see what these are. Dual x-ray, computer tomography means basically section of a particular part. Neutron beam technology. So these three they want to introduce to ensure that it is being done in a much faster manner. Delhi LG orders recovery of 97 crore from AAP for political advertisements. So guys, this is one of the biggest problem, not just of Delhi, but many state governments. Recently, there were Odisha state government's achievements in Karnataka, Rajasthan state government's achievements in Andhra Pradesh. So, in different parts, people are trying to show their own achievements and they try to promote that as the political motive. So, that money needs to be paid back. 97 crores is not less. So, this should not be done only for Delhi, even for other states. It should be a law where political advertisements must be reduced, whether it is central government, state government, any government that is misuse of public money. Killers of Jammu Kashmir civilians. 3 days back we actually read that few civilians were killed in Jammu Kashmir, and now those people who killed civilians are killed by the army. When will Modi government start asserting claim on LAC? As Congress. So Congress is asking, that we should start claiming external regions, and we also have to go and say that this is the border and this is ours. But the problem with LAC is there is no clear cut agreement from 1962 onwards. So saying that we should go and claim control is not fair. But yeah, opposition will have its own voices, guys. So now when we look at, yeah, editorial, guys, upholding the autonomy of the election commission. Yes, this guy uses a new term called fourth branch institutions. He says you have executive, judiciary, legislature, three branches. All other branches like election commission, information commission, what we call as constitutional bodies and non-constitutional bodies, he said they come under fourth branch institutions, and it is the duty to ensure that the fourth branch institutions are functioning independently from the political executive, and moreover they must be provided sufficient staff, they must be provided with sufficient money and safeguards to ensure that they act independently and they help in progress of the country as well. For this they are talking about election commission must also be made like this. So you can write this word in your mains, you can use this fourth branch institutions in polity. Fourth branch institutions beyond executive, judiciary, legislature, executive, judiciary, legislature, such as election commission, information commission, must function independently, must function independently from the political executive, from the political executive. Full stop. These can also act, these can also act as checks and balances, checks and balances, and ensure the rights of ensure the rights of citizens are maintained. Citizens are maintained. Yeah. Then guys, prosecuting Trump. So actually, what happened? Donald Trump, when he was about to lose the elections, he said there is some false way of rigging in the elections and all, and he told the public that, like, my election is being taken away forcefully by certain group of people. At that time, people protested, and that led to attacks on Capitol Hill. Now, that charges have been framed by Democrats, and they want to prosecute Trump for his involvement in this particular thing. So that's what they are trying to tell. The new normal in the Indo Pacific contestation. So, yes, in South Asia, China is trying to increase its presence through Belt and Road Initiative, whereas India is trying to counter it, especially after Galwan Valley clashes. And most importantly, China wants to show its domination in Indo-Pacific region. India through Quad is trying to balance it out, is what the entire article is about, guys. um, International relations, if it is done, it would be easier. And I will make separate videos on these issues, because these are much broader than just looking at few keywords. As of now, my focus is to read and complete newspaper every day. From Jan, as I have promised, I'll try to ensure that additional videos are provided to you through YouTube only. Fine. So that, it is easy for you to cover all these topics. Yeah. So yes, after that, this is a very important one. If not reformed, UN will be overtaken by other organizations. See guys, in United Nations there are 5 permanent members, and these permanent members have veto power. India, Germany, Japan, Brazil, G4 countries, they want P5 to become P11. They want to include one country from Africa and some other aspirations. Now, P11, they will have veto power. They are asking that reform UNSC so that we all will get the power. And when United Nations was formed, there were only 50 countries. So you had 5 members. But today you have 193 countries in United Nations, and still you have only 5 permanent members. So this Indian diplomat is trying to argue that if you people don't change United Nations, then other organizations like G20 and all, they would overtake, and they would start becoming more relevant because they are meeting regularly, they are doing it in a systematic manner. Whatever policies they think they are able to implement during COVID and many other crises as well, these groups came together and they implemented things in a much better manner. So this clearly shows that, it is very, very important for us to go for UNSC reforms. Fine. Harsh V. Pant, he used the term mini-laterals rather than using regional organizations. Today you have almost 200 states. Their voices are not being heard. Let's say the voice of the voiceless, the smaller states, the countries from Africa, who hears them? Everything is being scripted for them in many ways. So no one is able to represent themselves, rather than, no one is able to represent them, as there are no voices from them representing in these sessions, guys. This is what it is trying to argue. So UNSC reforms, why is it required, is the question. Fine. No survey done to identify number of EWS recipients. Government. So I would say try to make note of this, guys. UNSC reforms. UNSC reforms. Hyphen. Though Third World War has not occurred, though Third World War has not occurred, there are several there are several local wars across the world. There are several local wars across the world. Next point. There is a change in there is a change in global scenario, global scenario, and there are new challenges, new challenges for which new powers are important. New powers are important. Next, every organization, every organization must change itself according to the situations, so that they remain relevant. So that they remain relevant. Next, during COVID crisis, during COVID crisis, UN was UN was not so effective, not so effective. Next, P5 countries, P5 countries are based on hard power. P5 countries are based on hard power, and today there is need for and today there is need for soft power. Fine. So guys, these were the points. Next, Lok Sabha members demand stricter law to curb drug abuse. Not required. Unknown threat elements had tampered with IT servers of AIMS. NHRC, okay guys, in the bodies, constitutional bodies, read about NHRC in huge tragedy when people have been killed. NHRC is involved. Opposition is asking, when in Morbi 150 people died, why NHRC was not sent? So these things will be going on, guys. States' financial constraints given short shrift opposition. It's always there will be some sort of demand by the state governments that, like, the you have to give us some money. And here there is a debate going on in the parliament where, like, additional expenditure of 4,35,938 crore they're asking, like, uh, central government is asking additional amount of 4,35,938 crore. Opposition is asking, how can you miscalculate such amount? Normally, yes, when you are running a government, you may tell I want 10 lakhs, but it would become 11 lakhs. But, like, 4,35,938 crore is a really huge money, and out of this 3,25,000 crore is revenue expenditure. See, guys, if we are buying something, if we are investing somewhere, then it makes sense. But just like, revenue means giving subsidies, giving like, what do you call as pensions, giving salaries. If that is 3,25,000 crore, then there is some problem with the planning, is what the opposition is asking, which is fair enough. BJP likely panel flags victimization of SC/STs. Guys, another important one is about millets. Normally in India, most of the small farmers, marginal farmers, that means who has less than 1 acre of land and 1 acre of land, mostly involve in millet cultivation. And if we can try to consume these millets, it would definitely benefit those farmers. So Indian government, Indian government is requesting that whenever meetings and all are happening, please ensure that millets are being served. Yes, this is for prelims. Three more sites added to UNESCO: Vadnagar town, Vadnagar town, Sun Temple at Modhera, rock cut sculptures of Unakoti in Tripura. Rock cut sculptures of Unakoti in Tripura. Fine. Because UNESCO World Heritage Site, once if it gets, it would be, like, very, very essential for us. Sun Temple at Modera, which is dedicated to the sun god, is the earliest of such temples, which set trends in architectural and decorative details. Vadnagar is a municipality in Mehsana district, a multi-layered historic town, has recorded past stretching back to nearly 8th century BC. So, as US lawmakers against Donald Trump, crematoriums in China packed as COVID-19 cases soar, deaths have increased drastically in China, guys. We should be really careful with respect to this problems. Outlook darkening globally, local factors per India's growth. So, guys, global inflation and global problems are continuing to rise. So, what India really has is local growth. So, until and unless local investors are investing and they are working, it is very difficult for us to see the growth, is what RBI is trying to tell. Because outsiders coming and investing and outsiders uh, trying to increase India's revenue might not be as easy. So, guys, these are the issues that were there. Is if anyone is interested in mentorship, test series, and all, please contact, guys. Still, Reap is there, right? Uh, if you're unable to reach out there, you can ask me. I'll contact and get you the details. Thank you, guys.